everybody, Hobo for Craft, aka Mr. Hobo here, with another shoutcast for you guys. Let's get started right away. It's going to be ChitaPrime, the red Protoss, spawning on the top right of Xel'Naga Caverns, versus rvnJust, spawning on the bottom left as a pink Zerg. Going to be sending his Overlord right away. My guess is to the back of the base. Some people actually like to send it here, though eventually it can get caught by two stalkers, which will be able to shoot it down. And on Xel'Naga Caverns, it's very common for the Zerg, in fact, to go for a pool first to be able to defend this expo, which is pretty wide open and hard to defend. It's really just the best idea to be able to do that first, though some Zerg players are able to throw down the hatchery first and able to defend it, so it's gonna be nice to see how he is able to play that out. And it looks like ChitaPrime is just going pretty standard build. He's not going for any cheese as of yet, and we do see that this pylon is placed so that it will be able to nicely power any buildings at the ramp. So obviously he's gonna go for a wall off, getting a chrono boost right away. And it looks like just now we are seeing drone go out, and he is going to go to the expo. It looks like Cheetah's gonna loop back around. Oh, if he scouts that, it looks like very wisely Just is gonna be hiding this drone so that he doesn't think he was gonna try and hide it so he wouldn't think that he'd be there, but rather he'd be scouting. But ChitaPrime very wisely does stay back. Question is whether he'll throw down the pylon. No, he won't even block the hatchery. Wow, that's normally a Protoss will want to catch that. However, it looks like he might have wanted that to go down early, because now he's throwing down a forge. He could be aggressive and throw some photon cannons, down behind his base, or he can go for an early expansion himself. Just judging by his building placement, I have a feeling that he's going to be pretty aggressive here. Does get the gateway, does allow you to get out a nice number of zealots in the meantime. But yeah, it looks like we are going to get possibly a proxy going on here, but it looks like we're bringing a good amount of drones, probably more than you really need, though better safe than sorry. And it looks like, oh, that one probe will be able to get away barely. He's going to need to surround this photon cannon if he's going to want to destroy it, but it looks like that probe did go down. In the meantime, we're getting a lot of photon cannons being built. Here goes 3. One is already down. Here goes the second. Will he be able to cancel it? Let's go to the no, let's stay at the protection tab. It's probably the best idea. And just building as many photon cannons as possible. Looks like the creep's now coming in, so we won't be able to build on there any longer. He needs to get a good surround. Looks like he just had his pool finish and he's pumping Zerglings. In the meantime, nothing being built over here. This is pretty economically intensive to be building all these photon cannons, but oh no, it looks like a couple will be built. There goes the first one. It's going to take down a couple Zerglings. Oh, this does not look good for Just whatsoever. And it looks like, oh, 2 of them will go down right away. And these Zerglings will be able to get half of a surround going down. And what he really needs to do right now is just take out as many as possible. One Spine Crawler is about to be built. Oh, leaving it a little too early, 2 times. And now he is able to take out the probe, which is huge. Will he be able to actually defend this? That would be amazing. Going for the pylon right now would be the best idea, as killing 2 photon cannons will take more time. And it looks like he will be able to do so. A nice cancel from ChitaPrime there. Saving himself a couple 100 minerals, 150 to be exact. And we will be able... Whoa! I think I just pressed B. That was my B. Get it? But seriously, that was terrible. I'm sorry, guys. What was I saying? Looks like he pumped out 1 zealot to be able to block off his ramp effectively. And these 4 Zerglings are going to be heading out now. And really, this game is just going to go back to a pretty standard game. Whoever can get back on track and follow in suit with their strategy beforehand will be able to take the lead in this game, because it's not how well you defend the early aggression, but how well you can rebound from it and make your recovery. And it looks like going to just the income tab, looks like rvnJust is doing a pretty good job considering how many probes he had to sack just to be able to defend that. Now in the meantime, it's pretty observant to note that Cheetah was actually not able to produce very many probes or use very many chrono boosts because he was microing pretty hard over here. So really it did take a little bit of a toll on him as well. Only now is he able to chrono boost out the cyber core, and actually he's going for a 3-gate as of now. We could see a 4th go down, or we could even see an expansion come out. We do see 2 sentries, so my guess is that we are going to see an expo go down for him, in fact, just because Zealot sentry composition is really common to be able to defend against any aggression or pushes versus a 3-gate expansion. But a good amount of spine crawlers being built. I think this is a little bit of paranoia. Really, he could have made about 6 more harvesters with this and saved 3 others, because you know it does obviously take drones to make spine crawlers, and that's a lot of minerals. I think he should have acted more reactionary in this way, and if he had scouted that he was in fact going for an expansion rather than just going for the gates right away. It looks like there was a nice force field right there to deny any scouting. If he had scouted the expansion, then he would have not put up those spine crawlers in a very nice force field, getting the rest of these scouting drones, which is actually really huge, because then you can switch tech safely and put your buildings wherever you want without risk of being scouted by those Zerglings. So very nice play. It only costs some energy from the sentries, which obviously regenerate. Zerglings obviously don't regenerate after they die. They don't come back from the dead. And it looks like we're getting a nice little push, which is pretty common from the Protoss after they throw down their expansion. So I think after seeing this army at the expansion, I would have thrown down the spine crawlers, because if you didn't see anything really, then it would have been a waste. But right now it's definitely a good thing that he has this, and it looks like he's going to try to loop around to get this pylon, but instead he's just going to go to the base of Cheetah, and Cheetah very wisely keeping 1 sentry back here. Though, do we have metabolic boost on the way? It looks like it's just about finished. He's going to need pretty good micro here, though. We have a nicely built wall that is not going to be used because the Zealot was not in hold. If this sentry goes down, that's going to be bad news. It looks like it already used its force field, in fact, and here comes another Zealot. Looks like these Zerglings will have to loop around if they want to get into the main. In the meantime, we have 1 Stalker and a lot more Zealots over here that were warped in. We're getting another spine crawler, is it? Yeah, 2 more spine crawlers, so definitely being very precautionary. A Roach Warren, and we have a good amount of Zerglings out on the field. It looks like we're getting a nice loop around. That's going to be a nice run, and we have 40 Zerglings on the field right now. He's going to be able to scout everything that he needs, and just might be able to take out a probe or 2. There goes 1, 2, just 2 probes, which is still a nice deal. And looks like we're going to get a surround without any force fields going down. Oh no, that's pretty big. There are no upgrades on any of these units, and then a bunch of force fields go down, trapping a good amount of units in here. Being able to take those out, circling his units completely, and he will just be warping in the Stalkers, which is exactly what he needs. Coupled with the force fields is a very deadly composition, except I don't think there's any mana left on these sentries except for maybe 1 force field. Roach Zergling here is very, very deadly, because you can get surrounds and blocks off with the Zerglings while your Roaches deal a lot of damage. And it looks like very wisely Prime will be waddling away with these Stalkers and Zealots, and I guess gliding away with this sentry. Looks like Just is now going for that gold. He will be taking down these rocks, which definitely is a good idea. Even if he's not going to take it right now, it's a very good habit to get into, because if you need it later and you're microing in a battle very intensely, you don't have to worry about taking any other units to be able to knock those down. So that's definitely a good idea from Just here. And it looks like he's going to be on the offensive this time, and none of the sentries were able to catch them at this choke, though we get a nice wall here. In the meantime, the Zerglings loop around, taking out a lot of these probes. I don't think Cheetah even realizes. And the force fields do go down, and Just is able to poke up here. Focus firing down these sentries. He doesn't want any more of those annoying force fields going to the income tab. Look at the huge difference, but back to the battle. It looks like a lot of these stalkers are being taken down very quickly by this heavy roach damage, and they're just gonna acid their way right through these zealots. And I think, oh my gosh, very, very nice micro by Just, being everywhere at once with those Zerglings. And he will call good game.